Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today is Tuesday, July 21st, 2020, and this is the Flight Sim News. So first up, the guys at Flying Iron Simulations posted an update. It looks like they're a little behind, I guess, on, well, not necessarily behind, but behind on showing more images of the A7 development. They go on to talk about that the artist that was helping them out on this has been diverted to a P38 project. It says, our artist has been diverted onto our P38 project. Fair enough. And they go on to say, much of our development time thus far has been spent learning the ins and outs of DCS world and its complex code structures, learning how systems work together and the flow of information within the sim. From what I'm understanding here, it looks like these guys have been doing stuff for like X-Plane 11, which is very different than the DCS platform. And further reading, it looks like they're doing a P38 for X-Plane 11. So that could be what they're talking about. One of our first and most important phases of development is creation of the simple flight model, which is used by the AI for flight. The SFM serves as a great starting point, as it is not only essential for AI flight, but also provides a data foundation for the EFM. Work here has progressed rapidly, and the SFM tuning is nearing completion, with weapons testing and AI behavior to be examined next. Then they go to talk about the EFM flight model. Creating the flight model for the A7 is undoubtedly one of the most complex and difficult aspects of creating the simulation, and is receiving the appropriate time and care within development. Our EFM is being built in several phases, starting from simple and being refined and updated repeatedly to achieve the depth and realism of simulation we are aiming for. Currently, we are working to complete Phase 1, a simplified flight model that incorporates the key equations of motion and fundamental flight physics simulations accurately. So, looks like there's a lot more work yet to do, and the only images are these 3D renderings, essentially. So, not a lot of flash this time out, but it is nice to hear that things are moving on. And in other news, they are doing a P38 Lightning for X-Plane 11. Did you hear the enthusiasm in my voice when I talk about anything X-Plane 11? So, yeah, not a fan of it, but hey, they are working on it. And then plans for 2020 ahead, DCS World. As we've stated previously, we will be not taking on any further DCS projects until the A7 is 100% complete. Our goal is to ensure that the A7 reaches the highest standard in the fastest possible time frame, and we don't wish to compromise that by taking on another project as complex as a DCS module. After the A7 is released and complete, we will open the possibility of beginning another project. I like that attitude. On one hand, I do like that. On the other hand, it makes me wonder if maybe they bit off more they can chew, because it looks like this is going to be a pretty in-depth project for them. And by the way they're talking, it almost makes me believe that they're not as experienced with DCS, and X-Plane is a bit easier for them to work with. But here's to hoping everything works out and we get that A7. It says it's still too soon for us to give an accurate time frame. We hope that you'll forgive us for not being able to provide one at this time. We can say that we expect to be working on the project for at least another 12 months from now. Again, please take this with a grain of salt, and remember that this can and likely will change during development. And then they go on to talk about their P38 for X-Plane. And I hear that and I'm just like blah 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 X-Plane. And then Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. While not official and not yet set in stone, we are very excited to announce that we fully intend to port some of our modules into the visually breathtaking Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Expect to hear more later this year. That's interesting. So, the A7 is not going to be anytime soon, but I am excited about it. I really look forward to this plane and more of the Vietnam-era Cold War planes. I'll throw a link to this in the video description as usual, and you can read the entire update yourself. Team Fusion Simulations. These guys have been busy. So there's a bunch of new images from the beta version of Desert Wings Tobruk. This is looking pretty kick-ass. Like I said before, I've been poking around with Cliffs of Dover, Blitz, and I think it's pretty cool for being an older title. And it looks like all the work that they're doing in this is a graphical improvement upon that even. So I look forward to seeing what they got going on with this. Goes on to say, the opportunity to create and recreate land battles from the Desert War will whet appetite of many mission builders. They are awesome to watch and make great videos and screenshots of. Later this week, we'll be releasing new special effects footage from one land battle taken from multiple aerial viewpoints by our special effects team member. For those who like tracer fire, you'll be in for a treat. And the images look really good. So I'm looking forward to see what they got going on with this. I'll throw a link to this in the video description as usual, and you can check it out for yourself. I don't think I can pronounce his name right, but it's Laobi? Laobi? He's really funny usually. And this time out he does like a 21-minute video, which is Northeastern France first look.
Hello everyone and welcome to the second part of the DCS channel map. After figuratively lubing you up with some minor mangling of a couple of English place names, now it's time to take the name mangling to the Major League. I make absolutely no apologies whatsoever for the following mispronunciations of your much fought over places, the misgenderings of inanimate objects that will no doubt attract Tumblrite levels of ire, and reducing some of the greatest battles of the 20th century to a series of skirmishes determining who won access to your grandmother's poontangs.
This guy is so funny. I absolutely love everything he does. And this is 21 minutes of that, you know? Fantastic, man. You guys have to check this out. I'll throw a link to this in the video description as usual, and you can check it out for yourself. So, WarThunder. You know what, man? I haven't played this for weeks, man. I was really into the tank battles for a while there. And then I just got bored with it again because it's very, very grindy. They came out with an update last week, and this is the list of fixes and improvements and the things they've done. I'll throw a link to this in the video description as usual so you could check it out for yourself. But I missed that last sale. I was a little bummed about that, but at the same time I'm kind of glad because I really don't think it's worth spending any more money on this game. Because the paid, I don't know, I want to call them modules, but the paid planes and tanks and whatnot, they really don't seem all that like much better than the ones that you earn in the game. It just kind of gives you access to one of those a little bit earlier is what I've found. And again, I've always known that this was very grindy, but that doesn't take away from the fact that the tank battles are really super fun still. I just got tired of logging in every day to, play the virtual slot machine there of the daily thing that, you can win something cool if you log in every day. Just got kind of bored with it. But again, if you want to jump in and have some fun tank battle stuff for like 20 minutes, this is definitely the way to go. I'll throw a link to this in the video description as usual, and you can check it out for yourself. True Grit Virtual Technologies. So these guys announced just a day ago that the IRIST-T is confirmed for the Eurofighter Typhoon and DCS and will be your main heat seeker missile. Check out the pictures and enjoy your Sunday. Pretty cool. Now, I'm not up on what that missile is or what it does or how it compares to like an AIM-9X, but and not to mention, 1996 was a long time ago when I flew Eurofighter from, what is it, Digital Image Design back in the day. So I don't remember much about this missile, but my understanding is everybody's fired up about it and excited about it. So I'm going to guess and go out on a limb here and say it's better than an AIM-9. But the Eurofighter in general is going to be interesting because my understanding of just the plane itself is that the way it performs with the two engines that it has, and by design, it is very maneuverable, and it's pretty much going to outclass most of what we already have in DCS right now. And I know there was talk in the past of people being like, well, let's put an F-22. We need a Raptor in DCS, or we need a F-35 in DCS. And it's like, you got to watch what you ask for, because you know if you get one of those, and especially if you get on an online server, like, you know, everybody's just gonna be flying that. There's gonna be no reason to do much of anything else, you know, because it has somewhat of, you know, stealthy characteristics and next gen technology, and it would be interesting to see how this goes down once this happens. It's gonna happen. We're gonna get a Eurofighter in DCS, but I'm just curious to see what the real reaction is going to be once we get, you know, a next gen fighter like that in there amongst all the fighters that we have in there right now. I'll throw a link to this in the video description as usual. It's just amazing. It really looks fantastic. This looks like the modern map for DCS. It's up right now for pre-order, and they have a discount on it at the moment. It's $34.99 instead of $50 right now. Probably going to have to get in there and pre-order it. But it does look amazing, and I'm not going to play the whole trailer. I'll throw a link to this in the video description so you can check it out for yourself. But it does look impressive, and since they're doing the pre-order, I can imagine that since they've changed their open beta phases, instead of every week to once a month, and considering the open beta was just like a week ago, I'm going to guess that this isn't going to launch for another 3 weeks when they do the next open beta update, because whenever they put out a new product, they always end up coming out with an open beta update at the same time, which adds hooks and support for the product that comes out. You know what I mean? So it'll work. So my guess is that the pre-order is going to happen once they come out with the next open beta update. I could be wrong, but when they did the pre-order for, what was it, the P47 and the channel, and then a week later they came up with it. So I don't think it's going to be a week, but it's definitely going to be pretty soon. And if they stick to their new open beta plan where they're going to release an open beta once a month, then that leads me to believe that the Syria map is going to come out with the next open beta. I'll throw a link to this in the video description as usual, and you can check it out for yourself. And last but not least is another video that was posted last week on the Syria map.
Hey everyone, Wags here from Eagle Dynamics, and in this Syria map video, we'll be conducting a hornet strike on an enemy encampment in the Bekaa Valley of Lebanon. For those
fantastic looking terrain. I'm really looking forward to this one.
a nice little airfield for helicopters and light aircraft, like a Yak-52 or a Pitts.
Sell that stuff, Wags.
Okay, let's continue dropping down the coast down to Beirut now.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun one. I'll throw a link to this in the video description as usual, and you can check it out for yourself. So that's it for the news for today. As always, thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. Feel free to hit that like button. And until next time, guys.